Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. Due to so many requests for it, today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about my thoughts on push-pull legs type routines. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. Alright, first of all, right up front, I want to say, because I get all of these strawman arguments when I make some of the statements here, if I say something is faster than another, and your reply is that, well, I made gains on it, therefore you're wrong, that is the equivalent argument of me saying that most of the time a Corvette is faster than a factory Nissan Maxima, and you go, oh, I got my Nissan Maxima up to 90 miles an hour, so you're wrong. When I look at you and go, yeah, but the fucking Corvette will go 180, is the equivalent type argument you just made. I didn't say that a Nissan Maxima has a speed of 0 miles an hour. So put that in perspective, guys. So let's jump into it. First of all, I think that for the right individuals, push-pull legs programs are very, very good. And they can be very effective for certain types of bodybuilders at different levels of advancement or different levels of enhancement. I think that the vast majority of people who do them really shouldn't, that they're not optimal. And it's not to say they can't make gains, but they could be making better progress than they're doing on something else. Now, the first type of push-pull legs that you see are where you run push-pull legs, no day off, push-pull legs again, or some other similar pattern of it. And so you'll run 6 days on, 1 day off. I do not recommend this for natural guys. I recommend this sort of program for bodybuilders who are on gear and usually on drugs specifically that help with recovery more quickly and particularly connective tissue regeneration. So guys who are using either things like nandrolone or anavar or growth hormone in their stack. Those are the guys who should be doing that type of program, and again, who are concerned primarily with aesthetics for bodybuilding purposes, not necessarily strength athletes. I think that for guys not using those sort of things, that trying to run this too long can really beat up your connective tissue. It can force you to take a lot of deloads, and it's not necessarily going to give you always the best gains just due to this, because you have to take so many deloads to keep your connective tissue healthy, and you regress a lot if you don't. So for naturals, what I recommend who are going to do this type of program is doing something like a 3-day on, 1 day off, which is going to be, again, like push-pull legs off, push-pull legs off. Now, the issue you run into there is we get into an issue of it's going to cause slower growth. For guys who are not on drugs, they don't have enough muscle protein synthesis uptime to make optimal gains per week or per month on this type of frequency. So if you're a novice lifter or an intermediate, you're shooting yourself in the foot a bit running this type of program because you're going to make slightly slower gains. The guys who tend to do really well on this are the more advanced bodybuilders who aren't going to make a lot of gains anymore. They're probably not going to gain more than another 8, 10, 12 pounds of muscle over the course of their training career, or at least in the next 5 years. And they use it as refinement work. They use it primarily to just refine what they already have and make slow progress and to specialize a bit. But they're not expecting to make huge gains. I mean, when you see someone like Matt Ogus run a program like this, you don't see Matt going, I'm going to put on 10 pounds of lean mass in a year doing this program. You don't see him saying that, and you don't see him putting on that type of muscle, because this type of program is rarely going to do that. But he's at a point where he's not going to be able to gain a lot of muscle without going on a bunch of gear. So it's accepted. He's using it for refinement work, and it works very well for guys like Matt. And that's the thing you guys have to keep in mind when you're looking at a lot of these more advanced guys, even here on YouTube. And I'll give you some examples. Kevin and Keith Hodge, Chris Jones, Matt Ogus, Chris Lovato, all of these guys are pretty advanced lifters. They've all been training for quite a few years at this point. None of them are in their second year of lifting. They all trained hard. They've all built their foundations. They are all advanced bodybuilders at this point. And their programs are often very, very good for them because they're advanced and they're refining and bringing out what they already have and just making slow gains in actual mass. And they're balancing out and refining their physiques to get to that next level. But if you're not up there at their level, oftentimes their programs are not going to be optimal for you. You've got to keep that in perspective and step back and If you were an intermediate, run an intermediate program. If you're a novice, run a novice program. Don't try to use a program that's far more advanced than you are, because you're not always going to make the best gains on it. You might make the type of gains they're making on it. If Matt Ogus is gaining 2 pounds or 3 pounds of muscle a year on his program, or the Kevin and Keith are, that's what you're probably going to gain running their program. So put that in perspective, guys. Advanced programs are for different goals than for people who still need to continue to build their foundation. And that's really where I see the push-pull legs. It's kind of an advanced refinement type program for more advanced bodybuilders. Now, and at the end of the day, I will say this though, any type of training that you enjoy and you're motivated to do, at the end of the day, you'll still probably make better gains than you will on it than you will on a program that is on paper and by experts that's more advanced, but you cannot stand to do, simply because if you're motivated to train harder and more consistently, you will always make more gains, even if the program itself isn't always as good. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you next time.